Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Queen Talk. It's me, the Marquise, along with Mashawn and JoJo. And today, this week's topic is my topic, and I want to do something safe and for right now, do something safe, and I guess something very informative. So this week we're going to talk about our coming out story. So since it's my topic, I'm not going to go first. So who wants to go first?
We gonna let Josephine go first.
Well, Miss
Really?
Josephine, you go
I can
first.
go first because mine is, I don't have a long drawn out story. I don't have a sad story. It's very simple. I actually have two coming out stories. I came out twice.
I have two
Okay.
too. I have two too.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
go.
I have two. Yours is with the same person, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yes.
Mine is with two
Oh
different
my
people.
god.
Okay, so God, I can't remember exactly how old I am, so I'm not gonna go by the year. I know I had to be maybe in my early 20s. Um, that was an event that happened, a very traumatic, dramatic event that happened when I got off of work one day, came home. I'm not gonna disclose who it was, but and found two very close people that are near and dear to my heart tussling and rustling in the front yard, literally like on the ground scrapping. And I was so disgusted and disappointed in that whole situation. And so once we got them separated, I went with one of the persons who was involved in that altercation, and we went to it was a restaurant in center where Whole Foods and all that shit is. I don't think it was his. It was it walk-ons or whatever used to be walk-ons. I don't know. Something, but be that as it may, we went and sat at the
I
bar,
think walk-ons
chopping it
used to
up.
be McAllister's.
It was. It definitely wasn't McAllister's. It was something
No, it
else.
wasn't.
Oh well.
I don't remember. I can't
But
remember what it
whatever
was.
it was, maybe it was walk-ons then. But be that as it may, we went to the bar, sat down just to take the edge off, and just to take our minds off of everything. I was like, well, hey, guess what? Guess who's gay? And all she did was like, she looked at me, stopped, and smiled really big, and gave me a kiss on my cheek, and was like, "Oh, JoJo, everybody knows." And I was like, "Oh."
Oh.
So I said, "So I don't." I said, "So I don't really need to make this a thing and like make an announcement to everybody, then, right?" And she was like, "Yeah, nah." So I was like, "Okay, well," and that was that. So that was just to lighten the mood with that domestic violence altercation. That's how I came out. Um, another thing is, oh, another way I came out to one of my friends because they went through my phone. One of my friends, it was a fucked up situation, but I let them use my phone to make a phone call or something like that. And I went to the bathroom and they came back. Like when I came out, they was, she had went through my messages. So yeah. So that was a kind of a fucked up way to come out like that. But that's a whole nother,
She
yeah.
went through your messages.
Yeah, like
Oh,
you know how
you are
somebody be like, my
controlling
phone
yourself.
died. Yeah, you know how somebody say, my phone died. Can I use your phone? And I'm like, okay.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, that.
yeah,
Never.
yeah. It wasn't. Yeah, so
Never.
that was like maybe 2010. Like that was literally 10 years ago.
Hmm.
Honey, I ain't
Um,
better let nobody
and
use my phone and go through
I
my
mean,
stuff.
it is what it is. Like,
Never again.
oh, but like the
Yeah.
last time, the second time, I guess quote unquote that I came out was to my mother, of course. It happened again. I can't remember when. I know it's probably in my early to mid 20s. I was a late bloomer when it comes to coming out. For the simple fact, I kind of was under the impression that everybody knew. I thought it
Hmm.
was obvious. So I remember one night, me and my mom was in her bedroom, whatever. I don't know why the hell I was in her bedroom, but and she had mentioned, she had kept mentioning, so when you're gonna have children, when you're gonna give me some grandbabies, and I'm like, you already have grandbabies, and I'm like, she's like, okay, so, and I was like, oh my, it's not really that. I said, it's not as simple as me going out and having a kid, right? I said, you do know this, right? And
Baby,
she was
I
like,
done
well,
knew.
why? And she kept saying, why? Yes, she was baiting me. And she kept saying, why? But why? And I'm like,
She
you
knew.
know
She's
why?
like, just tell me already.
Why? Yeah, because that
Baby,
she kept saying, well, just
honey.
she kept saying, "Would you baby grandchildren?" I was like, "Oh my, that's not as simple as me doing it." They say, "Well, why? Well, why?" I'm like, "My, you know why?" And then I started getting nervous. It's like, "Well, maybe you don't know why." So she was like, well, what do you got to, what's wrong? It's like, she was like, well, are you bisexual? I was like, fuck, shit.
Oh my
No, but
God.
I did. I told her it's like, well, mine, because I'm gay. Hello. That was me actually putting it to words what I was to my mother, and it was like dead silence for like 20 seconds, and I fucking panicked, like, and that's when I started crying, and and she was like, well, what you crying for that? And then she did the whole consoling thing, and the first thing that came out of her mouth was, well, you're not going to hell, right? And I was like, yeah, yeah. So crying like a little bitch.
Crying like a
And
little bitch.
she gave me a hug. My
Yeah.
mama is not necessarily like what do you call it? She's weird. Like and that's why I'm emotionally detached. Like I'm not a person that is emotional that much. Like shows emotion. Like y'all two are a lot more emotional than I am. Y'all will cry
Yeah.
at the drop of a fucking head, bitch. It takes a lot for me to cry. Like the last time I cried was at Hershey's thing, of course. But I'm not a crier, but I cried. And I get that from my mom because she actually gave me a hug. We're not emotional. We're not people that show our emotions, but she gave me a hug, said she loved me, and she just said the only thing that she was really worried about was I was her baby, and she didn't want nobody to mistreat me because of that. And I was like, well, shit, I ain't worried about that. So that's pretty much the most important
Because we
person.
fight.
I mean that part, but yeah, that was the most
Hello.
important person that I came out to. Anybody else, I really don't give a fuck about their opinion per se about that. Um, I would have been lying if I would have said, "Hey, my mama's opinion didn't matter. I'm me, and I'm gonna be myself." It would have hurt my feelings if she would have
Yeah, I
rejected
think.
me. Like it would have been devastating. But yeah, that's my story.
Well, no, I think coming out, like when you do come out though, like the only opinion that only matters, like when
It's your family.
is your family. I mean, not only just your family, but like your mom. Like to me, like
Yeah,
my mom's,
But they
opinion
say
matters to me.
they know. They
that
fucking know.
They
mothers
know.
already know. They already know.
They
It'd be
know.
the
They
dads that
already know.
they have like no fucking
Now let
clue.
me tell you about my daddy, because my daddy, in a sense, kind of knew too. My daddy was the first one to clock me, like, because I can remember my one time my friend D, I'm gonna call him D. He, I went and got him from work. I used to go pick my friend up all the time, and he was like, "Well, I want to go to Burger King because I'm hungry. So take me to Burger King so I can buy me something to eat or whatever." And I was like, "Nigga, we just barbecue, so there's plenty of food in my house. So I just bring you by my house and get a plate, and that's on the way home." So I brought him by my house. He did not
We
come
ain't
in. He
spending
just
no
stayed.
money.
Yeah, no, 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 no. I was like, baby, we got all
Yeah.
this food. You're gonna eat some of this food. So I brought him by my house, and he didn't come in. He just stood by the car under the carport, and my dad was in the kitchen by the door. So I walked in fixing the plate, and my dad and those ass go over to the door, and this is what my friend tells me my dad did. He said my dad looked out the window at him and like I gave him like a mean mug, but like a head nod, like what's up. And then I didn't see that, but my dad then turns to me while I was in the kitchen fixing the plate, and he immediately says, "Make sure you tell that boy to wear a condom." I was like, "Daddy, what are you talking?" I said, "What?" So in a sense, I guess he was telling me. He was basically just like, "You, me, and that boy, fuck it." I'm like, "Daddy, that's my friend. I'm not." So first of all, my daddy clocked me for being gay. And second of all, he clocked me as if to say I'm the bottom. Because why the fuck I can't wear the condom?
Wait,
He told me to
he
tell.
he said you was the bottom.
No,
Yeah,
honey,
because he
he
said
already assumed that he was the bottom.
because he told me, he said, make sure you make that boy wear a condom. And I was like,
That's
ooh, like
embarrassing.
I was
Baby,
not ready for that shade that my daddy put on me.
That's
So
funny as hell, but that is
baby,
embarrassing.
JoJo Senior knew her daughter was a bottom, honey.
good. So
The
Like
elders were
Lord,
proud.
and I had
like
to put
my
it together.
daughter.
I had to really process what he was saying.
My
He said, "You make
daughter.
sure you make that boy wear a condom." I was like, "Daddy, what the fuck?" But okay, so yeah, those are. I'm gonna shut up now. I went longer than what I thought I would, but that's it. Marshawn, you go next.
Okay. I mean, I wouldn't even say mine was like a coming out story. It was more like a confirmation because, like, we already know, mothers already know.
Yeah,
So
that's more like a confirmation. Yeah.
I remember it was April 22nd of 2018.
This
It
bitch
was
got
at
a date.
night because I remember, honey, I remember the date and everything. That's the date I will never forget because at the time I was dating someone. I'm not going to say his name, but
Mm-hmm.
we were on the
Mm-hmm.
phone dating. My mom met him and everything.
We know who he is.
I
I mean,
remember.
it's yeah, and we all know who that is. Yeah,
Mm-hmm,
but
mm-hmm.
at the guy that I was dating at the time, that's when he kind of like helped me come to terms of with just come out to your mom, everything's gonna be fine, because I kept on thinking
Oh,
of
so
what
we ain't
his
shit.
of what
What happened?
well,
I
no,
said we
no
ain't
good,
shit.
no bitch, it's not that. It
Oh,
was
so
just
we
like
wasn't enough
no,
of
he
an
was
influence.
We ain't get him no
no,
influence, fool.
no, child, don't even go there because y'all were enough of an influence already. Because I was looking at JoJo's mom and
Baby,
child.
this thing
Well,
was
really,
in love. This thing was in
well,
love with
really,
that boy.
what
I
really had me,
know.
what really had me kind of like going, because whenever he told me about his mom, and of course, Kwee with your mom, with
Woo.
Connie acting up, baby, didn't know how to handle
We'll
it.
get
So
to
I'm
that.
like,
We'll
We'll
get to
get to
we're gonna
that.
get to that momentarily. But so I was thinking to myself, well, when everybody meets my mom, like, she's a sweetheart. My mom does not have an evil bone in her body.
She is.
So
She does
I
not.
knew that, okay, well, in the back of my mind was like, okay, well, my mom's going to really be understanding. It's just that growing up in a Christian household, that I was just preached about, oh, it's wrong. And one thing they taught us, because I grew up Methodist. So when I was confirmed, when we were going through our confirmation stuff, they were saying that the worst thing you can do is make your mother cry. So I didn't want to do that. So after just basically giving it like, just some thought, I said, okay, I'm going to go ahead and do it. So literally I was on the phone with my boyfriend at the time and he was like, just go ahead and do it. So literally I went in my mom's room and she was watching TV. She was watching Little House on the Prairie. Because we always go in there. Child Sharon loved watching Little House on the Prairie. She loved watching Little House on the Prairie
When
and
I
she loved
stayed
watching
over, she had it on the Waltons, baby. I was
maybe
like,
she had it on the Waltons too, baby.
I know you
The
fucking lying.
Waltons, baby. She watches the Waltons.
Was she
too.
watching Leave It to Beaver too?
Child, she watches that, and Andy Griffith.
and
She
the Nick
watches
Van
that
Dyke
too.
show.
I was kidding, but she
All
does.
the
I
old
don't
Okay.
know
school.
about that.
She don't watch Bonanza, girl?
She watch all them good old
I don't
wholesome
think
Catholic shows.
Sure
Okay, but go
does.
ahead.
Them old time Christian shows. So I was in
Oh
that.
my God.
I wanted to catch in a good mood.
In the
So when she was,
heat of the
So
night.
to catch her when she's in a good mood.
I wanted to catch her. She was in a good mood where she was kind of distracted. So when I'm sitting there watching, I'm like, hey Sharon. She's like, boy, what you want? So I'm just like, oh nothing. I'm like, I just want to talk to you about something. She's like, what? She's like, so you heard about the rodeo that's going on? So you want to go to the rodeo? I said, she's like, I don't know. She's like, I'm supposed to go with your aunt. So then my boyfriend on the phone was like, oh my God, just tell her already. Just get it over with already. So I go, I'm like, well, mom. She goes like, what? Like, I'm like, I'm gay, right? And
That was random though. Like you went from asking for the rodeo, then just busting
right,
out.
that was very random.
Right, because
You didn't like ease her into that shit.
No, I just want. I was gonna do that, but I'm like, let me just get it over with. So,
I'm gay. I'm like, oh, okay.
I'm gay, right? She's like, and this was her exact response verbatim. She was like, okay, I already knew that. What you want me to do?
Bitch, who didn't know that? Like,
who did not?
Yeah.
I'm like, oh
I
my
kept
goodness.
telling her
I'm like,
that. I was like, girl, she would know. But no, when
but she was like, okay, and then this is how it was. She was like, okay, well,
tell them about how she asked you prior to you coming out. She asked you. Remember?
Yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, she always asked me. There was plenty of opportunities where I just could have told her, but I just didn't want to.
So when she asked you would say no?
This motherfucker said no.
Yeah, I would just say no.
I wish my mama would have asked me so I could be
Me
like,
too.
yes.
Me
I know.
too.
I wish my mama would have asked
Do you know
me.
how many times Sharon has asked me and
you told her no.
And
right
still
here
said
Sharon
no. You know how many times
No, Sharon knew. Baby.
But look, after a while, after that, when I told her that, we just kind of just was talking. Like, child, that's when our bond really got stronger. We're like this now. Like, we're like the best of friends. Me and my mama, we be talking about like relationships and all kind of stuff together. Like, honey, when I tell you my mama's my best friend, honey, she is. Like, I love my mama. Like, we are the best of friends.
My mom's my best friend.
Yes, I love Sharon too.
Yes, honey, baby. Connie is now
to be
your
honest
best.
with you,
it took Connie years to finally accept that.
We would get to that.
Quickly, are you the favorite child?
I think so. I'm the youngest.
I think actually,
Well,
yeah,
he
because
is
I'm the youngest too. I think the youngest are like by default. I don't know why,
by default the
automatically the
favorite.
favorite.
bitch. I'm the oldest.
Yeah.
Well, I'm the one that spoils her.
Well, you're
And
the
I'm the
rare.
Me and
favorite.
my sister
I'm the
spoil
favorite.
her.
I'm the
You're the
favorite.
rare. You're the rare one.
You're
But
rare.
but
Of course.
yeah. Okay. Are you done, Marshawn?
I am completely done. The only, well, actually, though, the only thing, I mean, like I said, my mom kind of, like, since I wasn't able to come out to my dad, my mom kind of gave me, like, that kind of, like, you know, sense of security where, you know, that my dad already knew. Because before he died, like, I know this was, like, the first time I saw my dad ever break down when I told him that I was moving out. Because when I told my dad I was moving out, he cried. My dad bust out crying. I mean, I guess
I'm
he
sorry.
thought that.
Yeah.
I guess he thought. Well, I mean, it was kind of like I didn't think that he would do it because I thought it was kind of funny because I saw my dad like looking at me, he's like, "Are you serious?" I said, "Well, yeah." So he just started busting out crying. So I'm like, "Well, someone like, why is he crying?" Because you know, I would do a lot for my dad.
Yeah.
So and then like when times I thought, okay, well maybe I should, you know, just tell him. It was too late because by the time, you know, March 23rd came, you know, 2014, I wasn't able to tell him anything. So I know one day, because I took his death really hard. Like I know I was gaining weight. I was just doing all kinds of I really took his death really, really hard. And my mom kind of gave me that kind of, you know, closure that, you know, they talked about it and he already knew. So
Oh, they
I'm like,
did?
But
okay.
that's good.
Yeah, they talked about it because I
Okay.
remember I remember my mom told me that my dad brought it up one time. He was like, Sharon, he's like, you know, Marshawn never really brings any girls to the house, and if he does, he says that they're his friends.
That's what I
So
was just about to say.
and
Yeah.
then he was like, well, you know, I was like, Marshawn, I think he might. She was like, I think he was saying like, I think he might be gay. And then my mom was like, well, yeah, Patrick. I mean, he's still our son. He was like, yeah, no, but you know, I
Yeah.
wouldn't matter. I mean, I still love him. That's what she was
Yeah.
telling me. So I said, well, that's good. I'm glad that he kind of
I
knew.
think
But
when you get to a certain age and when you're not bringing girls home, like around the high school kind of age, and
they kind of
you know,
know.
yeah, because I had friends that were girls I used to talk to on the phone
Right.
all the time, but those are like good Judies. Those were not
I had a
nobody
lot of
at all.
girls for friends in school, and
Exactly.
my dad would always like ask me like, why you don't try to date one of them? Like, cause I was friends with a lot of pretty girls in school. Even my brothers were like, you know, like, oh, why you can't hook me
Your
up?
dad had said, "Wow, what your dad asked you?"
Bitch, you was on the
Yeah.
fucking drill team.
The drill team, girl. I wasn't on no drill team, girl.
No, what was it?
Yeah, that was my senior
The
year.
flag
And that was
team, whatever you
that was
call it.
indoor, girl. I was an indoor winter guard.
Yeah, you was on a winter guard team.
Well, no, it's funny because I took the captain of the winter guard. I took the captain of color guards to senior prom. She was a junior. She was a junior. I
I'm
was
sorry.
a senior.
Where's
I took
my
her to my
fan?
senior prom.
My son quickly trying to shade you, girl.
Good. This coming from the same girl that say she bisexual. I'm still trying to figure out where she bisexual at.
Girl,
That's
fuck
what
you.
I thought I was, by the way.
Girl, I'm still trying to figure out where Kween go. I said, girl, what punana Kween been tapping lately, girl? I'm still waiting.
Many of them.
Good.
Girl.
I ain't gonna say many. I'm not gonna say many, but
good.
Must
You,
be
so,
good.
so wait a minute. You're saying that? Never mind. That's a discussion. For
You know, it might be it might be teddy bears because I don't know, girl.
Teddy bears, bitch.
Come on, fade your shade. Okay.
The bitch get a new set of braids and forget where the fuck she come from.
Ah!
Show it and
Okay,
show
so-
do, girl. No. I bitch get a new set of hair beads and I don't know how to act.
The bitch get a
I'm
bitch
not
get
about to
some
play
weave
with
and forget who the fuck she is.
I'm not about to play with y'all. Oh
Yeah.
shit, my phone.
Oh,
Okay.
God.
Okay.
Go
Okay,
ahead,
but-
girl. Lay down your burdens, Queen girl. What's your tea?
Well, I came out 4 times actually, to be honest.
I'm still trying to figure out how she came out 4 times. I'm still trying to figure out to this day how the hell she came out 4 times.
4
I thought you.
To be honest,
Well, yeah, you did.
actually I'm lying. I came out 5. Well,
Okay,
if you
good.
count different people, like okay, I was 19, 20 years old. I was working at the local Sonic, and I actually made up my mind when I went to this sex toy party. This girl, you know how they do the sex toy parties? I was
Yeah.
invited. I was invited. I was invited. She was just selling sex toys or whatever. I was invited. I was with one of my good, one of my good Judies or whatever. And it just hit me like all day. I was just like, I need to hurry up and tell her. And I guess it's because that I got that through the grapevine. It was discussed at one of the card tables my mama was at. And my mama was like, my son is not gay. My son is not gay in any way or whatever. That's what was told to me of what she said, because somebody brought it up. Right. So it was on my mind. Like 3 days later, it was on my mind, and I was at the party. I was quiet, but I was having fun because I texted my mom, and I said, when I get home, we need to talk. Like, we really need to talk. She didn't text back, so I called her and I told her we need to talk, and she was like, okay. So I come home, she was asleep. So I was like, well, I'm not about to wake her up. So the next day, wait, I'm skipping stories. The first time I came out was to my best friend. I came out to my best friend, prior to meeting y'all. I came out to my best friend, Germ and Precious. It was instantly no judge. I mean, they were like, well, we kind of knew or whatever. Now grant you, I'm 19. I never had sex with a guy. Never even kissed a guy ever.
Hold that thought. I gotta keep going. I gotta go.
Okay.
She cooking. She has family over, and she made time for us, y'all. So.
She got a good old pot of hot grease right there on the stove, just waiting to throw it and swallow somebody.
They're doing Sunday dinner.
Yeah, she going to play grit ball. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so do you want? Oh, well, I can't wait till you come back. So, I mean, I can
keep on continue the story. I mean,
she'll find out.
She gonna pop in there sooner or later.
So that was my first time coming out. So my second time coming out, I of course I was 19, so this is the year. This was 2011, so this is the year after I graduated high school. So I was the coach of the high school step team, and I ended up telling the members of the step team or whatever, because I really did care for them or whatever, and one of the students on their step team was struggling with their sexuality, so I wanted it to be known that, hey, I'm part of this too, like, you're not alone, and all that, so I came out to them. Then the third time I came out to my mom after the sex party. The day after the sex party, I was at work, and it was on my mind, and I had my other best friend at the time, Tam. She was with me. I picked her up after work, and she came to my house, and so my mama was getting ready to leave, and I was like, Mom, come on. I need to talk to you. And my best friend was like, Miss Conner, just come have a seat, because this is some shit we need to tell you. And she said it just like that. So my mama sits down, and I'm sitting in the couch, and I'm sitting in the chair, and she's sitting next to my best friend on the couch on the sofa. And I was like, I don't know how, or whatever, and my best friend is looking at me, and she's like, just tell her, don't stall. Because she was like, you're stalling. Because I was stuttering, I was like, I was scared. And I was like, I don't know how, but I'm gay. And my mom stops, and she looks at me. She looked at me, and she was like, and my mom was like, how? And I was like, I just said I don't know. And so it wasn't what I expected, but it was what I expected. her whole reaction to it, we grew like we're a Christian household. I grew up in a Christian household, of course. And my mom was she was completely unaccepting of it. Now she was like, "Oh, you're gonna go to hell. You're not gonna see grandma and all your loved ones that passed before you." And she was like, "You don't want a strong, God-fearing woman in your life at all." And I was like, "Well, I never had sex with a guy ever. I'm just attracted to them the same way I'm attracted to girls." Now, looking back on it, because I realized this years ago, I was like, "Dumbass, you told her you were gay instead of saying you were bi. You say no, I'm gay." And I was like,
girl.
but still, to be honest, this is like the fourth. I came out a number of times, but anyway,
I can't.
I came out like a number of times. But the thing was, so I ended up crying. Like my best friend was like, his main concern is, are you gonna still love him? Because at this, like, I had like bus
Wait,
fare.
so Connie, so y'all, this is still when Connie was around, right? So when did she go off with doing all the other stuff you was telling me before?
Who? My mom?
Yeah, so she was still in the room with all your friends, like.
No, she was in the room with it was just me, my best friend, and my mom in the room at this time.
Oh, okay.
Like I told my friends at a separate time, and I told my I told the step team members at a separate time. But at this time, and I told my sister prior to this, and I run that back. I'm just fucking this all up. So follow if you can. But I was like, "Yeah, I'm gay," and she just looked at me and she did not accept it at all. Like,
who, your sister?
My mom.
Oh,
yeah.
It was nothing like y'all at all. It was nothing like.
I remember. Yeah.
And
yeah,
so
remember him? Maybe Connie wasn't taking that at all.
I had a backpack. I had some money saved up. I think I had like $200 saved up, and I was gonna go live with my cousin in Atlanta in case she was like, "Get out my house," because I watched a lot. I actually researched a lot of coming out stories, and majority of them was that I told my parents I was gay, and now here I am homeless.
Yep.
And and I didn't want to like do that, so I saved up like $200 prior to me telling her. After researching shit, I was like, in case she says shit or whatever, because my cousin already knew. So because my cousin's a lesbian, so I inboxed her and I said, I may end up. I'm about to come out to my mama, and I'm just letting you know in case I need a place to stay, because I'm not gonna want to stay in Louisiana. I'm gonna want to like move, But fortunately enough, it never came to that. So my mom was like, "I will always love you, but I will never accept it." So she ended up telling everyone, her co-workers, my aunt, my godchild, who was also gay, and I was like, "Oh God." So I was getting all these text messages, like people sending me scriptures and people telling me that they love me and that God loves me and that this is not me, this is a demon and shit. And you went telling your coworkers. So I instantly got mad because I was like, what happens in our house happens in our house. It should stay in our house. I mean, granted, I didn't care about anybody else knowing. I needed her to know, but because she was like, she already knew. The Holy Spirit told her, child. She was like, the Holy Spirit told her. So I end up going back in the closet, and I text her, and I was like, honestly, if I haven't, I guess I guess I'm scared because I haven't found the right woman, and that. So I'm like, it was just a moment of weakness, and I have to apologize, but no, I'm not gay. So I went back in the closet. But prior to that, I told my sister.
So you recanted to Connie?
Yes, I went back in the closet. So
I ain't buying that shit.
I told my sister, like prior to me telling my mom, I told my sister, and I was gonna tell her earlier that year. I think I told her around Christmas, but I was gonna tell her I was gonna tell her earlier that year. and because we were at Bayou Classics in New Orleans, and we were in a room just waiting to go out.
Oh,
We were
Bayou
waiting on her
Classics.
friend, and I was just gonna
Oh
bust it out.
God, Bayou Classic.
Right, I was just gonna bust it out, bitch. I'm gay, but I didn't. I held it in the whole weekend.
Oh
But
my goodness.
when I did tell her, we were in her car. We was going to the store, and I told her, I was like, I gotta tell you something, and promise me you're not gonna get mad. And she was like, what is it? And she just is calm. And I was like, I'm bisexual. And she was like, you're bisexual. I was like, yeah. You know, I guess she wanted to make sure what I knew bisexuality was. So she was like, what is that? She was like, what does that mean? I was like, I like men and women. She was like, I don't think you do. I think you just like men.
I'm sorry. I'm
The fuck, bitch. When I tell you she read me for filth just with that one statement. And I was
I'm
like,
sorry.
no. So,
Yeah.
so she was like, she
That
was
was a
like,
read.
what? So she was like, what is it? Like, I was like, I can't explain it, but it's just, you know, I do believe that a man knows what another man wants, and but I
She
also
wasn't lying.
and I also know what I want, and
No, they don't. They don't know what they want.
No.
and I also know what I want. I was like, I know what I want, and I was like, I'm just tired of walking with eggshells. Like,
What was she speaking in a sexual sense?
I was speaking in a sexual sense, honestly.
It kind of sounds like she was. I mean, when you kind of listen to it, it kind of sounds like it.
But I mean, she didn't do what my mom did. Honestly, I thought my mom would take it better than she would, because my sister's like my second parent. Really, my older sister's like my second parent. Like, she's like there all the time, and the thing is that she really took it calm, and she was like, okay. But I told her, I was like, don't tell mama yet, because I haven't told mom. This bitch called my mama and told her, Petey has something to tell you.
Yeah.
So my mom.
What is wrong with your mama and your sister? God damn!
So my mama called me. My mama called me later that night. I just walked through the door after my sister dropped me off. My mama called me later that night, and she was like, "What?" And I was like, "What?" She was like, "Kayla said you had something to tell me." I was like, "No, I don't." Bitch, when I tell you I called my sister, I said, "Bitch, I want to go tell her tonight." But I end up telling her later, which is what I just told y'all. But I end up going back in the closet again. I end up going back in the closet. I'm sorry, not again. I end up going back in the closet after telling my mom, because I could not handle.
I need to know when it came. I need to know when it came down to the church, girl. What the church folks said.
So the thing was, I ain't gonna
lie. Know where I'm going.
I was 19 at the time, so I came out again 3 years later. So I was 22. I was 22, and my mom was getting ready for work. When she was working, my mom was getting ready for work, and I was standing right there in my bedroom doorway. And as my mom was getting ready for work, and I like, Mama, which I was telling the truth. I was like, Mama, I prayed about it. I really did. I prayed about it. I talked to God about it, who I call now the Creator. I talked to God about it, and I just can't shake it. I was like, you remember what we talked about 3 years ago? I can't shake it. So it was a little bit better this time, but she did the one thing that I did not care for, and she called the pastor. And she called the pastor, and I'm not gonna go in on that, but
no tea, no shade.
I know she called the pastor, and I'm thinking to myself, I don't think that's gonna make it better. However, I did not care for it, because I'm like, I know he's the pastor, but he's not my dad, and he only sees me at church. We don't talk. I don't even think y'all talk outside of church. So she called the pastor, and she was like, hey, pastor, my son has something he wants to sit down and talk to you about. And I was like, no, I don't. I looked at her, I said, no, I don't.
Hello.
So, and she just left, and it was just that. So, going back to the first time I told her, she started acting weird. Like, I got up and I went to go get something to eat. Back when I was eating that nasty ass McDonald's, I went, it was like midnight. I came home and she's coming out of my room with the Holy Bible. She was talking, I was just praying for you. And I was like, okay. And it was like every morning we wake up, I get ready for work because she worked the evening shift. She's in bed. She was like, so what make you want to be gay? Did somebody touch you? Did somebody what make you want to be a homo? She couldn't say it. She was like, what make you want to be a homosexual? I was like, okay, mom, good morning. And whatever.
Not good morning.
Which is all
Good
that what led me
morning.
back into the closet, along with her telling everyone. But the second time, I was like, no, bitch, I'm here. The second time, I was like,
Period.
I can't. So it didn't, like, what happened. So I came out the second time in June, like National Coming Out Day. And the Lifetime ran these specials, and they had a marathon of like LGBTQ life, like a girl like me and Prayers for Bobby. They ran
Prayers
all
for
night.
Bobby.
And so I caught her. I was standing in my bed. I was standing in the doorway of my bedroom, and I caught her. Like, I was looking at her watch Prayers for Bobby, and it was at the part where he killed himself. And I could honestly see her start to cry. I didn't say anything. I just went to the kitchen. Calm down, baby. I just went to the kitchen, and I went back to my room. I went to the kitchen, grabbed a bottle of water, went back to my room, and I sat in my room and I started to like think. I was just thinking, and I went to sleep. I thought myself to sleep, and that was it. Like, no more waking up to her asking me questions. No more of her trying to get me to talk to the pastor, because I never did it, because I never wanted to. No more. It was no more questions. It was no more like harassment from her. She just left me alone with it. And over the years, we started getting more closer. Like, when I told her I was going to high school, I was really thinking that, okay, we're going to backtrack. But she was like, okay, I need you to do my hair. I'm going to need you to do my hair. Like, it was just that. I started doing her hair. I started telling her what looks good on her and what doesn't. I started giving her the tea about all her friends that shaded her, who have
She benefited, Queen. She benefited
right.
from this.
Hello.
I started giving her tea about all the friends she has that shaded her for having well, of course I'm bisexual, but Black people know it as just being flat out gay.
Yeah.
There's no such thing.
So I shaded her. I was like,
Marshawn.
I was like, I know they're not talking about
Girl.
you when half their sons and nephews are in my inbox. So I gave her.
Oh, you should have spilled. Y'all should have went down. No, let me stop. No.
Well,
so I was like, just know that. I was like, know that. Because I did talk to her one time about it. And I was like, what you benefit from this, that you know your son now. Half of them women out there, they don't know. I was like, half of them out there, they don't know.
That's good.
Kween knows, because look, we were right there at the airport. I said, girl, some of these girls are here need gay people in their life. I saw how terrible some of them lace fronts look.
Right.
And them wigs look.
Right.
I said, Lord,
right.
I said,
like, give them my
give
card.
them your card. Give them your card.
But now we are like tight. I'm pretty much raising her. I took her to her. My sister came with me to Pride last year. Last year, I took my mom to her first drag show, and she loved it. All my aunts
last year at Pride was Sharon's first
drag
show. So my mom said she enjoyed it, because when I brought my mom, it was actually, I felt like, because my mom asked me what I wanted for Christmas, I said, you already gave me my gift for Christmas. So what's that? Like, when she came with me to Pride, that was like the greatest gift that she could have given me.
Me and my sister
that was sweet.
Like, the smile on I was pretty much smiling the entire
Baby, I
day.
was excited to see Sharon.
I
I'm
was
like,
so
hey,
happy seeing her on
Sharon.
there. I
Oh,
was so, like the smile when I was all when I tell you I was cheesed up all day. It's
But
like
baby,
to see
Sharon
her
had to leave early
enjoy.
because there was a lot of walking for Sharon. Sharon got tired.
No, girl, no. Well, Sharon had to go. Sharon was tired, so
Sharon
we
was
had to.
tired. Sharon
Because
had to
I
go.
left, and then I
child.
came back right afterwards. But like the
Right.
fact that she was there, she enjoyed the drag
I was
shows.
excited. I was so excited to see
She
Sharon because you met
she
my
was
sister
so
last year.
yeah. She met your
Yeah, you
sister
met my sister
too.
last year at Pride.
Yeah,
Yeah, she
I
was so
didn't go to
happy.
that
When
shit.
she even complimented like she was like, "Wow, some of these drag queens." She was like, "Some of these drag queens dress better than real women." I said, "You see that,
Of
huh?"
course they
My
do.
sister said the same
Of course
thing,
they do.
and I said, bitch, that ain't nothing. They pretty much make their own costumes. My sister said the
Exactly.
same thing, and I told my sister, I
Yeah.
said, if you're trying to get Kaylee into pageants, these are the queens you want to
That's
talk
who
to.
you need to be
Yeah,
doing.
those
Yeah,
you need
That's
to
who
be
you need to be
talked to.
going
I know
to.
my mom was like, I need to get one of your friends to do my makeup. I said,
Right, right.
okay.
Like, but my mom's reaction, I couldn't even look at the performer because Araya Sinclair was performing. Araya Sinclair was the first drag queen my mom has ever saw, and I tell her that all the time.
that's when she went to Splash.
Yes, for her birthday, I brought a splash for her birthday. I brought her
So
to.
I can never
I
believe
brought
kind
her
it was
to
that
the
though.
La
We should have.
Burge, and I brought her to the La Burge. Well, I was trying to bring her to the La Burge, but she ended up going to the La Burge early. I was going to pick her up, but she drove to the La Burge, and I came all the way to Plaquemine from Baton Rouge, and I had to go all the way to Baton Rouge through 4 o'clock traffic. So to get to the La Burge, so we ate at the La Burge. We ate snow crab legs at the La Burge and crawfish, and
Don't you miss that?
I miss it so much.
Yeah, well,
That's another story.
unfortunately with COVID-19, we aren't really able to do
Unfortunately, with
anything anymore.
COVID-19, bitch.
Yes,
Speaking
yes.
of that, did y'all see that picture that somebody had took on Bourbon Street? How there really wasn't anybody wearing any masks.
Yeah, I saw the video
I
on
said
NOLA.com.
I'm like y'all about to make a whole
You're
new
talking about
trend.
Well,
NOLA. You
everything's
need a
spiking
Bourbon
back
Street,
up,
baby.
so
Have you
I'm
seen
just
Plank Road the
I
other
am
night?
prepared
I
now.
have.
I'm prepared now.
Look. There are
A
so
bitch
many
got
people
Lysol.
now not. There are so many people not wearing masks. They better make a whole new strand. It's gonna be COVID-20 instead of COVID-19. Shoot.
Might as well be with this
Well, that's
crazy ass
America.
year.
That's Americans for you.
Yeah.
That's Trump
Yeah.
supporters.
I would love to take Ida back to the topic. I would like to take. Well, yeah.
You
My mama just.
well,
She
you
be sleep
should.
so early. She be sleep so fucking
My
early. Though.
Now, I
was
want to bring my mom, but like
starving.
now, I mean, obviously not now, but I would
Yeah.
love to bring her when this whole Corona stuff dies
But
down.
I was
Because
gonna bring
she
my
don't go to sleep
mom
till like
to
3 in the morning.
But then again, my mother is not a club type person, so
I
like
would bring
at least not at this
I
point
would
in
bring
time.
my mom to Georgia's over Splash because she
Yeah,
wouldn't feel
but
comfortable in Splash. So
even
I'd bring her
that,
to Georgia.
like,
my
she
mom.
likes a good time, but she's not. She not that.
My
You know.
mother met my drag mother, bitch.
Well, girl.
Right now,
But
Okay,
yeah,
come on,
now.
look.
JoJo, you really should bring Ida to at least Pride with everything open back up.
You need to
Probably
bring her to
next year, I
Pride.
guess. Yeah,
You should
I
have
don't
brought
even
her
have an
last
interest in going
year.
there. Like it's just, if I go to Pride, I don't want to. I hate
Yeah,
to think
why
I don't want
didn't
to go
you
to
come last year? You was the
because
only one
it's
that's not to go.
boring. It just looked boring.
Well,
Like I
that
would,
one's more
you know what I
family. That
regret?
one's more family oriented
It
though.
was. It really was.
But it's
And they didn't
boring.
even have that. They didn't even have much protesting going on.
You know, I wanted to go. Oh, I don't give a fuck about that.
No,
And I
fucking
regret
protest.
it because last year I think they had World Pride in New York, so
They
it's
did.
like
And we
it
missed
looked like
it.
a really good
And it
time.
slipped right through our fingers, bitch. We
And I
didn't
don't
even
think
get
it's
to see
ever
what
gonna
about.
happen because I think World Pride, of course, it's called World Pride, so it's gonna be somewhere else, probably in a whole other country
Yeah,
when they
because
have it
we
again.
helped.
Actually, child, one of the babies are waking up. I may have to cut it short, but I hear them banging, so I don't know what's gonna happen.
Oh,
But yeah,
okay. Me and my
this
mother
was the-
bonds. Me and my
this was the
mother
first time we
bond
was in
through
Europe.
watching Pose. So hey,
I gotta go
that's
check. I gotta go check. I gotta go check on them right quick. Hold on, y'all. Okay.
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 But
I
yeah,
was saying me and Ada bond through watching Pose. That's enough.
my mama hasn't watched it yet.
You need to get Connie into it.
She
I don't
don't
know what
stay
the
home
problem
enough.
is.
My mom comes home. She put the news on, and she play her games on Facebook, and she go to sleep.
When I tell you, one of her favorite television shows is Pose. Like she is like even when they had
If
the
I get my
Pose-a-thon
mom on
recently.
it, she may love. But my mom loves action movies. She like action movies. She
Yeah,
like
she might
cop
like that
movies.
genre.
She
Baby, my
like
mama
mystery
loved
movies and
Pose so
shit.
much that she
Investigative movies.
she took any opportunity she could. Like the little Pose, what the is a telethon that they had recently, like a couple
Yeah,
weeks ago. Baby, she
that
was
was
into
cute.
that.
I loved it.
Yeah, that was cute. She was getting up and dancing. They said get up or whatever that song was. I'm like, I'll
Billy
sit your ass
Porter
down, girl.
song, I think. Something.
Yes, that song at the end.
Noah's Ark comes on YouTube tonight, doesn't it?
I
did I
think
miss
so.
it already?
I'm only, it's gonna come on tonight. I think at 7. Y'all know how I feel about that show, but I guess because I enjoyed the movie, it's like, okay, the TV show was complete shit.
Compared to
The movie was compared to everything. Like,
I loved it because it was pretty much like our first time being seen and being heard.
I think that's why most people appreciate that, because
I really do appreciate it. I do. I really want to bring it back full time, like permanently.
Hold on,
like just start it over. Like don't try to.
I gotta charge my phone.
I'm like, don't try to match it to.
What happened? What happened? Okay, all right, I'm here.
So say
I had to charge my phone.
The thing.
I had to charge my phone, and I had to get on the floor with it because I'm not dressed appropriately. But I have no, girl. Okay. I'm at home living my best life.
Okay.
Oh, everything wants to die on me now.
But yeah, I'm just saying, like, I really do appreciate those art, but I really do want my mom to sit down and watch Pose because that it's very educational and entertaining. It's how did they call it? Edutaining. It's edutaining. That's what it's called.
Is what?
Edutaining.
Education. It is very educating. And then for LGBT, I guess you could say parents, parents that have LGBTQ children. Mm-hmm. Of course, season 2, episode 4, Pose. It pretty much sheds light on accepting your gay child before it's too late. That's the episode. Well, spoiler alert. I'm pretty sure everybody has seen Pose, but I said spoiler alert. But that's the episode when Candy transitioned.
Oh my God! I didn't start crying until her parents showed up.
Honey, I cried.
I cried at her dad.
Everybody cried.
I cried at her dad. I cried at her dad.
I cried at her dad.
So it was really emotional for me because, like, she's dead, but she's talking to her parents as oh my God, I swear every time I think about it, it's just so emotional.
And the thing is that she went, I got a sense that she went her whole life with feeling like she wasn't accepted by her parents, but she was. They were just confused.
No, she was accepted by one parent. The other parent was wholeheartedly.
I think it was wasn't her mom.
It was her mom.
That was.
Yeah, her mother was
like
not
her
accepted.
Mom said, there was no book to raising a child like you.
Yeah, particularly a trans child.
I mean, there's no book to raising any child, so you have to kind of.
Yeah, particularly a trans child of the 80s, because she did. Remember, the mother said, "At worst, I just thought you were gay, but when you talking about you want to be a woman, yeah." I mean, I guess when you come from back then, like, the world was not as open as it is now, of course. So being trans was a complete. It was brand new. Like at least they knew about gays and lesbians, but trans that was the new world for them.
Well, I think it's safe to say that all three of us have beautiful relationships with our parents now and our families.
Yeah,
coming out. Bitch, I found out through my sister's boyfriend that my sister used to fight for me back in the day.
Oh.
When people used to tease her for having like a gay brother or whatever, and my sister my sister would risk it all, and it brought tears to my eyes. I cried in the car. I didn't cry in front of them. I cried in the car about it. I cried after my sister left. Cried because I was like, that's a milestone for me.
Yeah.
Connie was gonna come this year. My mom, she asked to come this year. Mm-hmm. My aunts want me to bring them to a drag show because I brought my mom to one. So, and then my godson came out to my aunt, his mother. He came with his boyfriend.
Sorry, y'all. Little Denver keep on running around.
Oh,
hey, Denver.
Little
Denver. You little Denver nugget
in the background. Listen, I said, go in there with Nene.
Okay, gal. How much time we got left?
Oh, I just went ahead and got the back.
Yeah. I got alerted that you didn't get the alert that she paid for the.
Oh, I did it, but I have. My time is a little limited today.
It is. But we pretty much have we have 5 minutes, so we can start doing our final start.
Yeah.
Okay. This is my time. I will go first on this one, and I would say, it doesn't matter. Like, I would say take your religious beliefs out of it, because it shouldn't take a religious person to love their child. I mean, love your child for who they are. Accept your child, because your child is the gift. It's a gift from work. It's a gift from the world. It's a gift from God, or the Creator. It's a gift from the universe. I mean, that's your child. And I think if people learn to stop trying to re-image themselves in their child, that they can learn to accept their children for who they are. Because at the end of it all, your child is going to grow up and realize, hey, I'm an adult. I can do whatever the fuck I want. So I mean, I would say no parent ever wanted their child to be gay, but if your child turns out to be LGBTQ, all I can say is just love them, because pushing them away could lead to other things, and then you lose a child.
Right.
So that's my thought. Just love people for who they are.
Yeah, like to add on to that, like people going back to the religious thing, people want to live by the Bible, they want to still preach it, but they don't practice what they preach. Because I mean, I know Jesus himself left a new commandment to love one another. Like love is pretty much the greatest gift that we have that we can use, for anybody. So I feel like when they say, oh yeah, I mean, it's not like nobody's predestined, to get, I mean, I don't know, let me rephrase that. Nobody knows, once their child is born. It's not like the stork comes by and drops it off at the door and say, here are the instructions, and your child's going to be this or be that. No, it's just that they're who they are who they are. I mean, I didn't choose this. I didn't choose this. It chose me.
None of us chose it.
Born this way. Like if I had the opportunity to come back as different, like I said, there's probably 9 times out of 10 I probably would, because it's hard being a gay man. It really is.
Gay black man at that.
Right. It was what the society calls a social norm. It's hard. So, but now what I'm loving now is that like they're making shows and stuff, even like kid shows. They're exposing them to a lot of kids growing up now having 2 moms and 2 dads.
Because you found out at an early age.
It's normal now. Because now that gay couples can adopt kids and have kids now, this is considered a social norm. And that's why I hate it when people say, "Oh, I don't want my kids being exposed to that." Well, 9 times out of 10, they're already exposed to it, because maybe their best friend has 2 moms or 2 dads. And so, what you gonna tell them? Stop being friends with them?
Yeah, they are. Okay, JoJo.
Like,
okay, and final word from me. I guess it's to also piggyback on what Marshawn was saying. I just recently had to leave a Facebook group, like a Zodiac. I'm a proud Gemini.
Gemini.
And but it was kind of getting on my nerves anyway. But I saw one of the posters. I was being nosy, because you know how when you click on somebody's post and then you happen to click on their profile, like just to check them out. And I saw one of his posts was like this homosexual agenda or something, and I that bothers me a lot more than it should, because it's like, what are you talking about? Like a homosexual agenda? Like every time because I was looking at the comments, like, well, every time I turn on the TV or every time I look, oh, it's okay, but it's just y'all doing too much. It's like, well, what exactly is too much? Like existing, like being like living, like I guess we should basically. I think people, from the sense I get people saying, do what you do, like that. Don't ask, don't tell shit. Just do what you do away from me, like out of sight, out of mind. They want us to be hermits, and but it's 2020. I'm grateful that more people are. It's a lot more.
It's more accepting
than it is now. And the sad thing was those people who were saying it were like people our age, and you would think it's like, who gives a fuck anymore?
But these are the same people that. Okay, these are the same women that had like 3 abortions already. These are the same men who have like 6 kids that they don't even know.
And like 5 different baby mamas.
And 5 different baby mamas.
Yeah.
These are the same people that have kids and put kids in foster homes, but yet you get mad because a gay loving couple
And
or
these are the
lesbian loving
same,
couple adopt them.
and these are the same ones that are going with stuff like that, are the same ones going saying that gay people will ruin relationships. How in the hell am I the reason why you got 5 different baby mamas and 10
Right.
kids you never
But
see besides on their birthdays and holidays?
But my thing is, people saw it. I'm not gonna lie. Of course, y'all know I believe HIV and AIDS were created.
Of
For,
course, it was
for
man.
the
It
LGBT
was.
community. But
It was
look how it
definitely
backfired. The majority of
Mhm.
people who are LGBT, I'm sorry, who are HIV positive are heterosexual.
Mm-hmm.
It
And
is.
it's more,
Like the majority of them are.
and if you look at the stats and the numbers, it's more prominent in the Black and Latino communities.
But get this shit though. We're the ones that's fitting up the testing sites.
Right.
We're the ones that's filling up every time I go get tested, I see no more than 3 heterosexual couples there.
Right. Because there's still the mindset today
that it's only for gay people.
It's still the gay disease. Anybody can catch it. Disease is like, baby. Diseases and sickness, baby, they don't discriminate. It gets everybody. Look at COVID-19. Baby, Rona ain't discriminating against nobody. So anybody can catch it.
Yep.
It's like HIV and AIDS. Anybody can get it. It doesn't matter if you're black, brown, purple, white, pink, or yellow. It doesn't matter. You still can catch it.
No, and child, don't let me bring up the DLs because we'll be on this show for another hour.
You know what? That's another topic because I actually have stories about that because
I will throw that to you for next week.
I'm also gonna incorporate. I'm gonna add this too. Why they don't deserve a letter in LGBTQ plus. They don't need a letter at all.
It can be.
They don't need a letter. Honey, they might as well call us. They might as well call us alphabet soup. We got so many damn letters in our shit now. I'm like, oh my goodness.
Oh, okay, don't be like B. Simone, bacon, lettuce, tomato. They ate her ass up.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
That's a stupid cunt.
They might as well call
like, I didn't even know what LGBTQ was. I thought it meant let God be truthful quickly.
and
that full coverage cunt right there. And the Queen still go up for her. It's like
the Queen still come after her. I wonder how her good look.
Why? She can't even sing all that good.
She needs to become familiar with the phrase "Would you like some fries?" with that because that's apparently probably what she can do now at this point. Just saying.
So that is the show for today. And we are also interested in hearing your coming out stories. So please, if you want, post them.
Honey, if y'all have any coming out stories, please post them and we'll probably do this again around when National Coming Out Day happens again in October.
I know. Oh yeah, National Coming Out Day I always thought National Coming Out Day was in June.
It's in October. October
it
the
is
19th,
October.
I think.
It is October because I accidentally came out. I accidentally came out on National Coming Out Day.
Yeah, I think it was October. I think it's October 19th. It's a couple of days away from my birthday. So October 19th is when it comes out.
We'll find out because Facebook memories will remind me.
So hopefully we should have, I think we should at least get at least 3 guests on. And
you know what I feel about coming out ultimately? I don't know why. I guess I'm being cynical. I mean, like, who the girl, maybe not, because I mean, for some people it is a big deal, and it because people really struggle with that. Like they really struggle with that. Like they wrestle with themselves. They're even suicidal.
Right.
But I'd be like, child, who cares?
I'm not gonna lie.
2020, why are people still coming out? But I understand that people are still coming out because as long as it's still being shunned, and
it's not even that. I think people like with celebrity status are using it as a trend. That like they use it like. I'm never excited when I hear that a superstar is gay.
Right. I'm not even excited about it because when I hear these celebrities come out, I say, well, I feel like you're trying to basically profit off of our years of pain.
But now it's a trend.
Right, making it a trend because
it's
like coming out,
being LGBTQ is a trend.
Right. But the thing is though, those people that come out, it's emotional to people who have been struggling with this for years. Like now that y'all are making it something in the limelight.
Yeah.
Like people like us are not able to put it out there in the limelight like that. Right. So we have to keep it, under wraps. So I feel like stop making it a trend to where like, oh, but don't get me wrong now, this is now the new social norm. So I don't feel like why coming out is still a thing. I mean, I get it; it's shunned upon still, but I feel like as each generation goes, like they see less of color, they see less of sexual orientation, they see less of anything. It's more of that, and I hate to be ugly, but you know, it's that older generation that's dying out now, and they still have that still hateful mindset, which I'm not trying to sound ugly.
It is what it is at this point, because you can't change everyone's mind.
Right.
I'm about to waste my life trying to do so. But we're gonna cut it here, and as we said before, if you want to share your coming out stories, please put it.
Please do. We would love to hear, and we may have you on come October.
Right.
It's 6 o'clock.
It's 5:13 where I'm at. I'm in Mountain Time.
So it's But yeah, so thank y'all for coming. Thank you for watching, and please comment and share, and we will see you in the comments. This has been Queen Talk with Marquise, Marshawn, and JoJo. Love you guys.
In the comments.